Thank you for coming in this meeting, Joe. I'm Morgan Peters. I'm the school social worker for Pine Lake Middle School, and I just wanted to go over confidentiality before we start. So basically, what we talk about here stays in this room. There are a few exceptions. So some of those are if you disclose to me a plan to kill yourself or to kill someone else, I have to report that. The third option is, third instance is if um, if I'm made aware that you have decided to plan to damage property in a threatening manner, I would have to report that. And the last instance is unlikely, but it could happen, and that is if I'm subpoenaed by the court, then I have to give them any information that we discussed here. So, do you have any questions about confidentiality?
No.
Okay. So, I've heard from a couple of your teachers that you've been struggling in your classes. Tell me what's going on.
I think most of it stems from me just not turning in a lot of my assignments and just not really understanding the content in the class.
Okay. Why don't you feel like you understand the content?
I don't really know. I'm just not focused that much. I'm thinking more about what's going on at home, so that's kind of distracting me from what's happening in the classroom.
What teachers have you talked to about the classes that you have been struggling in?
I really haven't talked to any of them just because like I don't really know how to go up and approach them.
Why don't you feel like you can approach them? They're there to help you.
I don't really know. I guess I kind of sometimes I just really don't care enough to go up and talk to the teacher. I think at some point I'll probably be okay with grades and I'll just figure everything out.
You mentioned on something going on at home, but it's been kind of distracting you. What's going on at home?
I don't know. Whenever I come in from school, I try to get help from my dad, but he's just really not very attentive. I'll go up and say, "Hey, can you help me with homework?" And he'll say 5 minutes, and then 5 minutes will go by. The next thing you know, it's an hour later, and he still hasn't helped me with my homework. So I'll just leave my homework and just go hang out with friends.
It sounds like that's very frustrating for you when you try to engage with your dad and he doesn't engage with you.
Yeah.
What do you feel like there are friends that can help you with your homework?
No, not really. I don't really like asking anyone for help. I kind of just deal with the stuff on my own.
Tell me more about ways that you think why you're struggling in classes.
Kind of like I said earlier, I just don't get the homework done, and Dad doesn't really help me with the homework, and yeah.
Tell me about your friends.
Um, I don't know. I think they're all pretty cool. We're all pretty different. A lot of the people I hang out with are a lot wealthier than me. And then some kids are like from my neighborhood, so
You mentioned that some of your friends are wealthier, a little bit wealthier than you. How does that make you feel?
sometimes it's nice just because the parents kind of take care of me more than my dad does, and like anything I need, they offer to help me out with it. It's pretty cool because they have like pool tables and a big pool outside, so it's kind of my place where I can go and have fun and not really care about what's going on at home. But then sometimes I kind of feel weird just because I know I don't have as much money as them, and I'd like for some of them to come to my house, but it's not as nice and clean, so I never have people over.
Would you like to see that change? To have people over?
Yeah.
So I've looked at going back to your school. There are some classes that you are doing very well in, such as English and science. So I see that you're doing very well in those. So I just want to commend you for that.
Thank you.
Help me understand why you feel like you sorry, I'm just counting my thoughts. So you've talked a lot about your dad and how that relationship isn't where you want it to be. But tell me about your mom. What's that relationship look like?
I really enjoy being at my mom's house just because there's a lot more structure, and when I'm there, she makes sure I'm doing my homework on time, and I always get a nice meal. Um, yeah, I just really wish I could spend more time with her.
But tell me why you don't get to spend as much time with her.
She's normally working during the daytime. And then she also has a part-time job, so she works at night too. So there's not really a set structure for me to be able to live with her.
Well, I'm glad that you have a close relationship with her, and it does sound that you do enjoy spending time with her when you do have the opportunity to be with her. That's good. What are some um, ways, or tell me more about um, what you think
About
about your overall life. How do you feel about where it's at right now?
I'd say it's pretty shitty.
Why? Tell me more. Why is it tricky?
I don't really know. I'm just stuck to my dad. He doesn't really care about me. Doesn't really seem to notice that I'm there. We eat junk food all the time. Um, I just really wish I could live with my mom.
How have you? How has this impacted your relationship with your dad?
I really don't talk to him besides when I'm getting ready to go to school. Sometimes we hang out, but it's always playing video games, and I really don't care to play video games. But that seems to be the only time where he's like actually happy and we bond. So I kind of just go with it.
Tell me what you would like to do with your dad.
First of all, homework, so I can be a better student. I don't know. Sometimes I think I'd like to try maybe skateboarding. Um, I don't really know. I mean, we've never done anything besides play video games, so I just do most things with my friends and their families. So
How does that make you feel? To only spend time with your friends and their families, not with your own.
um, I don't really know. I guess kind of bad just because I have to go outside of my home to find people who actually care about me and want to spend time with me and can actually provide me. things. So
Well, I am glad that you have those people in your life that you do get to spend time with, even though it's not with your own family. But it sounds like that's very frustrating for you again, that your dad specifically isn't always there when you feel like he needs to be there for you. And he's not. What what brings you joy?
Spending time with my mom. Uh, I don't know, hanging out with my friends.
Good. Good. You have some areas of liking things to do. What do you enjoy doing with your friends?
Just hanging out after school. Watching them do dumb stuff like jump off their house. Sometimes we go cliff diving. Yeah, just random guy stuff.
Good. I'm glad that you have those activities to do with your friends. Even if, yeah, good. I'm glad that you're having fun with them. Tell me about. You mentioned that you really do want to be a better student. Um, tell me about the what some of your teachers that in the classes that you enjoy attending, what they have said, what makes them stick out to you.
I don't really know. I guess I just really like the content that I'm learning in class. Like it's actually interesting and it's stuff that like I actually want to do versus the other classes. I just really don't understand what I'm doing or like why it's important. And I don't know. And I guess like the teachers classes that I'm doing really well in, I just go in and I talk to them after classes, and yeah, it's just a good relationship.
So it sounds like you have a good relationship with those teachers that you, and the courses that you are interested in, but the courses that you aren't doing so well in, you are not as willing to go talk to them. Would that be correct? What you said?
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you can't go talk to your other teachers in the classes that you are studying with? Is it just
I just don't really care to put in the effort. Um, and just some of them, I just don't really like them. So I just really don't know.
how does it make you feel to know that that you want to improve your situation, but how do you feel about the classes that you aren't doing so well in?
I don't really know. I mean, I just really like to do better in those classes because I think that I'm a pretty good student, but I just wish some of those teachers would reach out to me to see how I'm doing instead of just letting me struggle in the classes.
I noticed your body language is you're kind of moving around a little bit. Can you or tell me more about what's going on?
I don't really know. I'm kind of uncomfortable, but I'm just trying to manage and get through it. So.
Tell me why you're uncomfortable.
I don't know. I guess I normally don't talk to strangers about my personal life issues. So I don't really talk about my feelings to people. I don't even talk to my friends about it. But
Why don't you talk to your friends about how you're feeling?
like I said, a lot of them are wealthier, so I don't really want them to know the struggles that I'm going through. So I just try to fit in with the crowd, hide behind the cover.
So it sounds like you don't feel like you can relate to your friends, so you don't tell them what's going on in your life. Is that correct, you would say?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you opening up to me and telling me all this. I do appreciate it. Tell me more about how um, about what you want your relationship with your dad to look like.
I just want him to be more active in my life, more present, just willing to help me out when he can. Just stop playing video games all the time and get an actual job so we can live better.
Hmm. So your dad does not have a job right now, and he just
He does, but he hardly goes into work. He always calls in. So,
well today we talked about a whole bunch of topics. We talked about how you're doing in school and how that's going, and some classes that you enjoy, and some classes that you are struggling in, but we can work on. I appreciated everything that you shared, and we talked about ways that some of your friends and things you like to do for fun, and hobbies that you enjoyed in your relationship with your dad and your mom, how you found support in that. I appreciate everything that you shared today. Would you like to set up an appointment for next time to work on these goals, to work on the classes that you are struggling with?
yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. We'll set one up a time for next week.